I've always played a huge repertoire, and that's something that that I like to really not let my audience forget in the midst of all the Bach. But you know, I play. Of course, you've mentioned already Mozart and Beethoven, but I mean Schumann. And my next record actually coming out will be a Schumann and Chopin and Brahms and Liszt, even this wonderful sonata, which used to be one of my war horses, still is. Going into French music, all of the French composers, you know, moderns. Also, many works have been written for me. I have. That was one of my very favorite cycles to do. I would definitely say. Garrick Olson also has a huge repertoire, but I think you're probably right. I really do have a huge repertoire when you count all the Baroque music I've done as well, and I mean, this season is quite special, playing more or less just the well-tempered clavier around the world. But normally I take so much repertoire on tour during the year, and again, much more than most artists. On this tour, I'm doing it really very often. I'm doing one in San Francisco as well, and it's nice to pass on my knowledge of Bach to the young students and the teachers and those listening. It leaves something behind besides the performance, and gets them inspired about it, and so I'm glad if I can help in that way. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So we have to feel it that way. But it's very important to sort of get that rebound. And then maybe start a little bit softer so you can grow. Because remember, this is the strings playing, so they're playing they're really playing with full energy as well. I have done a few, which everybody writes me once the score is up, and I haven't published them yet. But someday I will publish them, yes. No. Those are really just 3 arrangements that my father suggested that I have a look at and do. He thought they would be good on the piano. And to tell you the truth, well, 2 of them anyway, I haven't even written out, I don't think. I just did them in my head, but I must get around to it someday. I guess if I only had to choose one, sure, I've spent so much time with him. But I would be unhappy to have to live without all the others as well. I like variety. And it also gives you, a chance to express yourself in a different way. I mean, Bach is wonderful expression, but it's nice also then to throw yourself into a Beethoven sonata sometimes. Well, I don't play a lot of Rachmaninoff and Tchaikovsky, although I have in my earlier days. I played the second concerto by Rachmaninoff and the Corelli variations, but so many pianists play that stuff that I really don't feel any great calling to do so. And, whereas so few can play Bach well, that it's really, I think, more worthwhile my spending my time on that. And no, but there's always so much repertoire to do, so many more things. I want to do the Brahms concertos, the D minor at least. I want to do the Ravel left hand, which I've worked on but never performed, the only piece of Ravel really that I haven't done in public. And and I do a lot of chamber music, of course, so that's exciting too. But being a pianist, the repertoire is endless. So my record company would be happy if I recorded all 555 Scarlatti sonatas, but I think it's too much. Well, as I said, we have a Schumann record coming out with the F-sharp minor sonata and the Humoresque, which I'm very excited about. The Bach DVD also will be coming out. I have, with the cellist I work with, Daniel Miller-Schott, we're recording all of the Beethoven works for cello and piano, which will be exciting, starting this Christmas for Hyperion. And then I will be doing more Beethoven also. I just have to put it in my calendar now. More Beethoven, perhaps some Scarlatti. Lots of projects there. And starting in January '09 again, I will be back into working more with orchestras, also conducting from the keyboard, and back to my large repertoire again.
Yeah.
often ask, and those who are willing, do it because they know that they do good booklets and pay attention to that. And so I do it. It's not that I get paid any extra for it, that's for sure. But I love doing it, and people I know really appreciate it, and so that's part of the package. I don't know. I eat only high energy foods really, and I look after myself. I had a good massage this morning. I needed it, but it's very demanding physically. It's not easy at all. So I really have to make sure that I look after myself well. That's a very exciting project for me. Back in 2002, I bought a piece of land in Italy, just sort of on a whim, but I visited this spot on Lake Trasimeno in Italy and thought it was just so gorgeous. And so I had a house built there. And then in 2004, I knew that there was this castle nearby owned by the Knights of Malta, but I finally got access to see it inside and thought how wonderful it was, with a 15th century courtyard and a wonderful acoustic and just so much atmosphere, and only 5 minutes from my house. So I managed to create a festival there. I won't go into that story because it's a long one, but persuading all the local authorities and the Knights of Malta themselves. And so it really was a big undertaking, but has become one of the most exciting things in my life and career. And so now every summer for a week, next summer it will be June 28th to July 4th, I present 7 concerts in 7 days in Umbria. And I perform in all the concerts with other artists of my own choosing. I will, as I did last year, I will have an orchestra again next year that I put together for the festival from some of the best freelance players around Europe. And my friends and fans come from all over the world, from the United States, from Japan, from Australia, from Canada, from England, even Italy, and they come. Many of them come for the whole week, take the whole package from us, and enjoy the gala dinners in the castle, and the tours of places like Assisi and Gubbio and Orvieto and Spoleto and all those wonderful Umbrian hill towns. And they come back every year, which is great, and more want to come every year. So soon we will have a capacity problem, but that's great, and it's a lot of work for me, but really very, very deeply satisfying to perform, especially with the musicians that I choose and the repertoire that I choose myself. I have a wonderful, wonderful people in Italy who help me with that. Really, the rest of my committee are all Italians, local people, and so that's good to get them involved, and they work very hard all year round. And, I do press conferences in Italian. I do actually play a lot in Italy now, and I really enjoy it, yeah.